permission to shoot in Paris.
I was very fortunate in having a French production manager who was extremely adroit and very good at dealing with the local authorities.
We had to convince them that we could have a jump from the Eiffel Tower.
There were 31 or 32 separate authorities who had to attend this meeting because they had to deliver some input before the sequence could work.
So we had the maritime police, the aviation police, the tower police, the park police, and the street police.
He went down and had it all worked out mathematically. And he said, this is when I'm going to pull the thing. And I said, fine. So he got permission.
Even with official permission, the situation remains delicate.
We're all set to go, and suddenly 2 people went up and jumped off the Eiffel Tower, a man and a woman.
They leapt off the top of the Eiffel Tower unauthorized and landed and got arrested.
And that, we thought, was going to compromise our position.
I had a call from the administration of Eiffel Tower saying maybe people have heard what you were going to do, and it already gave ideas, and we can't give you the permission because of that. So everything was cancelled.
Put the whole project in jeopardy.
And we said, we're sorry, but we don't know who that was. This has nothing to do with us. And we convinced them that we should forget this episode and that we would do it the right way.
Filming commences with B.J. Worth parachuting from a helicopter for Mayday's landing on the boat in the River Seine.
The first jump, I went down onto one knee and didn't look very graceful, no pun intended, landing on the boat. But the second one, I was able to get over the engines and then drive full speed forward and land on the boat to make a more graceful landing. And over the period of 6 or 7 jumps, I got quite a ways down the river, and they were able to use this where it looks like Mayday is flying along the river, and then Bond chases her with his car, and then she ends up landing on the boat.
A few days later, B.J. Worth goes to the top of the Eiffel Tower to make a leap he's been practicing for months.
Probably could have just jumped off the side, but I really wanted to have a little bit of a board to get a running start.
We had to put a platform to run out and jump off.
Just as the subject leaves, you can see that platform.
I thought that I could run fast enough and far enough and leap off where I could get out over the grass, so I would have my 960 feet to fall. If it was windy or stormy or anything at all, we wouldn't be able to jump. And so we scheduled it for this first Monday morning about 6:30 in the morning.
It was set up possibility of 3 times, and BJ was the major stuntman.
And I stood there thinking, my gosh, are you sure you really want to do this?
Standing next to his wife and his baby, I suddenly felt so personally involved with this person standing up there.
I just concentrated on doing the best job possible and yelled out, "This one's for Cubby," and went running off the board and just threw my chest out to the horizon.
I was on the camera right underneath him as he goes away from us.
It was one of the longest 3 seconds of my life, waiting so I could start the chute opening and seeing the girders coming up at a very rapid rate.
He didn't have a spare pull. It had to be right because there was no time for a second parachute.
So I waited as long as I could, and when my ears heard the pitch of wind, knowing that it was 3 seconds, I threw the pilot chute out.
And then suddenly, it opens up.
And I flew across the little garden that I saw that I thought I might land at, flew over to the river, and landed right next to my wife and my daughter.
BJ did such a good job on the first take that they didn't need me.
We offered to let him jump after I did so we could have 2 takes on the same jump.
I had the full suede leather suit, double as Grace Jones.
But Cubby said, no, we've got it in the can. We don't want to take any extra risk. We don't need anything else. We're done.
I told anybody and everybody, that I'd do it for free, or I just wanted to do it.
He has been BJ's backup and felt miffed that he hadn't been able to jump off the Eiffel Tower.
It was fashionable to go without any permit to any tall building in the world and jump without being called by the police or by anybody.
About 3 o'clock in the morning, I called my friend Bill Sweeney at another hotel and said, Bill, I think we can get up to the top tomorrow and make a jump off. Nobody's going to be around. We should be able to pop right off, land, and be out of there before anybody even knows it.
For them, it was such a unique opportunity to do something exciting that I'm afraid that their enthusiasm ran away with them.
By the time they were ready to jump at 7, what they didn't know is all the crew had come up to set up for the shooting halfway up the tower that day.
The director was actually up picking out camera angles and was 3/4 of the way up the Eiffel Tower and was going, well, I think we should go there. And just then, I screamed by him in free fall, and my parachute opened with a big crack like that. It was, my bloody hell, that looks like. And before I could even get my name out, Sweeney goes screaming by in free fall.
If you're a professional, you don't do unauthorized jumps.
I really thought we were gonna just pull it off, and just very few people would have seen it.
The police get involved, the mayor gets involved. We've got other material to shoot in Paris. We don't want to sour our relationship with the city.
We were close to withdrawing our permission, so it was a very foolish thing to do.
I wasn't very happy about it because he was part of our team.
I was told that I had jeopardized quite an investment for the movie company, and in hindsight, looking back, oh, I definitely did.
BJ was very apologetic, but I mean, it was too late. It's done.
I had to fire him on the spot, and I wasn't able to ever get him back on another Bond film.
I'm reminded of it every time because I always get a phone call saying, thanks, Tweet, for making that jump off the Eiffel Tower. I got your job now, and we're having fun.
After careful negotiation, shooting continues on the Eiffel Tower with actors Roger Moore and Grace Jones. Grace Jones literally throws herself into her character's role.
She did some of the stunts herself.
We did some shots of Grace Jones where she looks as though she's diving off, actually at the top of the Eiffel Tower, and we put boxes in, and she was very good. She sort of flew through the air. It was lovely because we had a camera right on her, and she dives through and she goes out of picture. She was a gutsy little lady.
Meanwhile, Bond veteran Romy Julien and his precision driving team lend their expertise to a truly smashing scene, filmed along the banks of the Seine River.
Remy actually drove it and literally ducked down and came up again after it had gone. I mean, the timing on that is terrifying.
Remy Julien is, of course, one of the great stunt drivers of the world, and of course is the primary stunt driver in France.
And although Remy's English wasn't very good and my French was even worse, we managed to communicate through drawings.
He put together a great stunt sequence down by the Seine River.
He was a very, very good stunt coordinator and very creative in what he was doing. That was actually something he came up with, the leap onto the roof of the bus and off the other side.
It was all done precisely with stopwatches.
The bus had to travel quite slowly because, it's only 6 meters long, and so as a landing platform for a car traveling at speed, and the car had to travel at speed in order to get the lift off the ramp. That's not a lot of space to put your wheels down on.
It's a great little sequence.
The first unit next moves to Chantilly.
Apparently, the Duke who built the palace was convinced he would be reincarnated as a donkey in a future life. So he built the stables befitting a Duke who became a donkey.
When you go into Chantilly, of course, all the gates, all the pictures on the walls, they're not of human beings at all, they're horses.
Just like a first-class hotel for horses, amazing. Really, really beautiful.
Roger Moore has fun acting opposite his old friend Patrick Macnee.
He was supposed to be acting a role as his chauffeur, and so he thought it'd be fun in the movie to kind of rub it in.
I'll call a porter.
Oh, that won't be necessary. My man will take care of it.
Roger didn't miss an opportunity to improvise extra dialogue, putting Patrick down, saying, carry my bags and be quick about it.
Well done, my good man.